Welcome to another segment of God Squad TV, or God Squad on the Road. We're down in Ave Maria, Florida, and we're meeting with Dan Dentino. Dan was a speaker at our conference in 2009, and good to see you, Dan.
Good to see you too. Welcome to Ave Maria.
We got a lot of positive feedback from your conference. You were very popular. In fact, the numbers said it was one of the best conferences we ever had.
That's great.
Unfortunately, your father-in-law came up this year with Peter Kreeft, and I think they've raised the bar yet again.
Oh boy.
So you might have to come back just to recapture that crown.
Sure, I'd be happy to do that.
Dan is the Dean of Students here at Ave Maria, and Dan, so you're dealing with young men all the time.
Yep.
And God Squad Canada, well, that's one of our goals, is to reach these young men. So what is it, something that we can do to reach out to these young men? What is it that they need or want?
I think young men want to be challenged. I think they want to be talked straight to, and they want the truth, unvarnished, not made to sound easier than it is, but to be really challenged, to know the truth, that God has created them for a reason and a purpose, that they've got a mission to fulfill, and call them on to do it. And I think when we do that, and when they see us actually living what we talk about, that excites them. I think it makes them want to succeed and want to be holy and want to fight that good fight. I think that's a secret.
Yeah, you were a big-time football player growing up in high school, and it's not the coach that said, "Okay, that's okay, Daddy, you did your best." It was the coach that said, "Drop and give me another 10, or you got it more in you," that you really remember, right?
Oh yeah, well, we have a tendency, for football analogy, for example, if I run the football 60 yards, break through and get a 60-yard touchdown, but right before I cross the goal line I fumble the football, the other team recovers it. The coach doesn't congratulate me for running over a would-be tackler and for faking out the strong safety and give me an A for effort. He yells at me for fumbling the football. It's about being honest and finishing what you start and giving them a clear plan. I mean, most people, I think they want to be good. Our hearts are restless, O Lord, till they rest in Thee. They just need someone who's willing to walk the walk if they're going to talk the talk. And when they see that example, when you're honest about what they can be and what God's called them to become, and you give them tools in their toolbox to use, they rise to the challenge. They do.
Yeah, I totally agree. I see that working with young men in Calgary as I am, that they want to know that you care enough to push them, to not settle for that's good enough, because God wants us to finish that, cross that line, right?
Well, that's what St. Paul says all the time. I fight the fight to win. I run the race to win a crown. I'm not shadow boxing. This isn't a joke. I mean, this is life and death, eternal struggle, the state of our soul, and what's most important in our life, and where we called to. And we're bound for glory, but we have to accept that challenge. And when we do accept it, though we'll stumble and fall, God always gives grace to help us rise back up. But it takes good, solid men to help raise good, solid men, and that's where we've been lacking. That's where the family's been on the front lines, under attack by the devil, and that's what we need to reclaim.
So what you're saying is men, dads, have a responsibility to challenge their sons, not just on the football field, but more so in their faith, and setting that example for them.
Absolutely. I mean, otherwise, if you're not doing it, how can you expect somebody else to do it?
So you're saying it's not happening in the schools and on the playgrounds?
No, I think, the playground, it's a jungle, a playground, forget about it. You should start wearing protective headgear on the playground these days. But no, parents who expect the schools to teach virtue and value are going to be sadly disappointed. And that's been happening for the last 2-3 generations, where the schools have they're unable or unwilling to transmit virtue to students. They're saying the parents should do it, and the parents are saying, well, we send them to a Catholic school or any school to get that. And it's not happening. It all starts at home with mom and dad, keeping the family together, praying together, setting the lived example, spending time together. It's like my father-in-law. He has a big property, and he has the kids helping out, keeping everything up to speed, making sure everything works, cutting the grass that takes all day long to do it. But he does it the way they used to do it on the farm. It keeps the family close.
Well, on this holiday, we're going to stop by and see that farm, so we're looking forward to that part of the trip. Thanks a lot, Dan. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a blessing to see you, I'm sure.
And this has been another segment of God Squad TV. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.